From contradiction, anything follows. The Latin phrase ex falso quodlibet is called the principle of explosion, and it's been known in various forms throughout history. Basically, if you assume some falsehood to be true, you can use it to logically prove anything that you want, leading to an explosion of all statements being true. What's really cool about this well-known principle is that it has a very beautiful logical proof. To prove any statement that you want, there is a simple three-step process. First up, assume a contradiction. For example, simultaneously assume that it is raining and it is not raining. If you believe such a contradiction to be true, fundamentally you can use it to prove anything that you want, no matter how absurd. The next step, or it with your absurd statement. For example, it is raining or unicorns exist. Now, because we know from 1 that it is raining, therefore this statement must be true. The final step is to remove this or by using the contradiction. Let's see if Q by itself, unicorns exist, is true or false. Now, because we assumed a contradiction to be true, which is it is not raining is true, therefore statement 3 is essentially false odd with Q, and we've already proven in step 3 that this is true. Now, if false odd with Q is true, the only way that can happen is if Q is true, and therefore unicorns exist. You might be questioning, what does this have to do with programming? Well, if you have a programming language that allows you to lie, and most programming languages allow you to lie to some extent, you need to be careful with what you lie about, because you are pretty much on your own as soon as you do so, because at that point, all statements can be proven to be true. Let's consider a simple example using TypeScript. We create a variable called true that can only be assigned the Boolean literal true. So if we try to assign the literal false to it, TypeScript will catch it at compile time and point this as a compile time error. But one simple way that we can lie within TypeScript is by using a type assertion. So we can actually say that the literal false should be treated as the literal true. And now TypeScript will happily allow us to assign this contradiction, which is actually the literal false, to something that only expected the literal true. Even beyond coding, this principle comes up often in engineering management. When having conversations about technical choices and roadmaps, you should be careful of your assumptions, because if you assume something wrong, you can use it to dig a hole as deep as the gravity well of Sagittarius A star.